Welcome back to 5-Star Matchup. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe now, and please consider supporting the show on Patreon for just $4. Coming off a potential season-altering dub over the Bucs, do the 2-4 Steelers, led by the miracle healer young Kenny Pickett, have what it takes to knock off Tua and the 3-3 Dolphins? Let's take a look. Start this one off with a nice play by Arthur Mollum, who continues to impress these last couple weeks. However, on 2nd and forever, the Steelers' D is anything but impressive when they get roasted on a blitz by Minka. Has this ever not happened? And the lightning-quick Jaylen waddles for a first. People keep telling me Alex Highsmith is playing great, but all I see is pass situations where number 56 and his rushmates get absorbed like water into a sponge, but that's none of my business. Hill finds his spot and the Finns are chugging early. But Steve, Devin Bush is playing really good. Into the teal and orange business zone now, and at first glance it's a good coverage play by Cookie's favorite son, but upon further inspection it's just a doinker off Jazicki's dome. But on 3rd and 3, Tua scrambles, and you better grab some hot dogs and buns because it's a touchdown for Raheem Mustard, who rolls into the end zone just like a hot dog on the grill. Over to the endless pain that is the Steelers' offense, which we'll affectionately call horrifying, and if you want one small positive takeaway from today, it's that the Steelers' run game finally looked just a little better, and the Naj man looks more healthy, but on 3rd and short, it's a Canada classic. Chuck it deep and pray, and of course it's already back to the Dolphins' pizza oven of an offense. Facts I've been stating all season: Pickett should have taken every snap since August. The Steelers' defense is overrated, and Presley Harvin just ain't it. It's enough sample size now. I'm over it. Bring back Barry. 2nd and 5, Devin Bush gets faked out of his zone by a simple turn of the head by Tua. Why does Tomlin insist on giving linebackers not named Ryan Shazier so much coverage responsibility anyway? And don't look now, but this thing is looking to turn into a boat race in short order. Mostert slices and dices him on a pair of gashes, but Dolphins fans hold their collective breath as Tua scrambles and gets struck by Devin Bush, but he's fine, and on 3rd, Tua fires, but so does Minka, and hot damn is it a pop by the Mink man, who gets the hellish PBU and shockingly no flag. Dolphins take the 3, and it's a 10-point lead for the boys in teal, but it feels a lot more like 20 for the hapless Steelers offense. Why does everything feel so hard? Canada has the only offense that needs to scheme fancy 3-yard flips to the tight end. 2nd and 3, and I've never met a pro athlete so at odds with their own feet as one Mr. Chase the Bank Claypool, who gets tangled up and goes down, causing an easy pick for the Dolphins. Man, I liked last week better already. I know the Steelers supposedly have great defensive minds on the sideline, but I just don't get how opposing offenses constantly have several plays a game where there's neither any rush nor anybody around a wide receiver in the deep middle part of the field, and the Steelers themselves haven't been able to scheme up more than 1 or 2 of these plays in the last 2 years. Tua misfires and gets almost picked, more on this later, followed by another incompletion on 3rd, and the Steelers show enough backbone to keep the Dolphins to another 3. Miami 13, Pittsburgh 0. Why does everything need to be so hard? Steelers throw everything at him but the kitchen sink to scheme up a much-needed first, and we head into the 2nd already. Bold early decision by Mike, who needs to do this every week. Kenny comes up short on 3rd and 7, but Tomlin rolls the dice and it pays off because, as you know, Jaylen Warren has never met a first down he didn't like, and the Steelers keep rolling. Now this is what I'm talking about, Najee. 22 looking a lot more healthy now, and you really gotta wonder if he should have been playing in the first month of the season. Timing's off and Pickett chooses wrong on 3rd, and he can't connect with diontae for the conversion. Boz trots out for a 45-yarder, and you already know he's... Steelers on the board, but trail by 10. Back to Tua and the Dolphins and Devin Bush is in lockstep coverage with Tyreek Hill? Okay, maybe I did die last week because this is otherwise inexplicable. Tua misses his next 2, and it's back to the Steelers with a chance to actually shift momentum in a game that really looked like it was going to get away from them. Again, why is everything so hard? We need multiple movements to set up a screen pass inside our own 15 to, let me check my notes, Zach Gentry? What are we doing here, Matt? What do you know, an actual pass play has a chance to succeed. And here it's just Pickett with a simple and accurate throw to George Pickens, who I can't stress enough is already the best wide receiver on this team. In rhythm now, Kenny connects with DJ for a nice conversion, followed by another to an uncovered Pickens, who you wish would have been able to stay in bounds with some room around him, but either way, the Steelers are doing the impossible. Moving the ball! Unfortunately here, it's so many things you never want to see, which is Kenny Pickett handing the ball off to Gunner and getting out in front of a play to block. Add in a penalty and it's another wet fart for Canada's offense that tries so desperately to be deceiving and is so sadly anything but. Pickett gets a lot of it back on 1st and 20, and on 3rd and 12 he tucks it and darts for a first on the ground, which continues to be a serious positive of number 8's play so far. He's not just athletic, he's actually got more speed than you'd expect, and you love to see it. Najee hits the hole for once and grabs one of his best totes of the season, and you better get out that black and gold fedora because the Steelers are taking a rare trip into the business zone. Let players make plays! Great throw on the simplest route there is, and a pick a pair of rookies, Pickett and Pickens, connect for an excellent catch and touchdown for the Steelers, who might have just put together one of their best drives of the season. Steelers still behind, but they've officially wrangled the momentum from the Dolphins. Dolphins 13, Steelers 10. Steelers might as well not even have outside linebackers in on this play because Tua doesn't even need to consider their existence as he leisurely hangs in the pocket and grabs a chunk to midfield, before scrambling for a few, and firing a legitimately great pass that somehow goes directly through Arthur Maulet's solid coverage, and the Dolphins are cooking again. Chance for the D to bail themselves out here, but they can't quite do it as Cam is not quite on the button and drops what is for him a pretty easy and sure pick. This one gets filed firmly under things you hate to f***ing see. And the Dolphins grab another 3 headed into the half. Dolphins 16, Steelers 10. Hello, lovely 5-star viewers. Are you subscribed on YouTube? Have you enabled notifications for us? Make sure you do that so you never miss an episode of the show or 5-star radio during the week. And if you'd like to support our channel, please consider joining our Patreon for exclusive gear and access to our awesome Discord server. Now roll the game. All right, Steelers, you've turned this game a bit. Let's get the ball after the half and... okay. What's Kevin Dotson doing here exactly? Way to take control of the game, guys. If you want me to keep spotting goldfish in this scum-infested pond, the Steelers D for a second consecutive week stepped up in the trenches in the second half. But on 3rd and 2, it's more of the typical Steelers no rush, no coverage D, and the Finns are across midfield faster than you can say Finkel is Einhorn. 1st and 10, and I don't know if it's whole grain or Grey Poupon, but Tua hits the mustard man in stride near the 20, and just as the Steelers got back into this, they're threatening to get right back out of it. Bam Bam Cam with a monster swinging tackle on 3rd, and super genius Mike McDaniel makes an extremely odd and seemingly ill-informed decision to go for it. Does he know he's playing the Steelers and 9 points might as well be 100? Awesome play by Ogunjobi stops the Finns in their tracks, and yet again the Steelers are staring down the barrel of stealing an ugly win. More of the Steelers' offense looking like they're all running a different play, but Kenny hangs on and finds an open diontae, followed by another to that same number 18, but Matt Canada couldn't scheme a running back open in space if his life depended on it, and the entire teal and orange universe collapses on number 22 on 2 straight to get the Steelers' brutal offense back off the field. Okay, fine, I'll admit it. Nice play by Devin Bush. Oh hell, Terrell! I wonder if this dropped INT for Edmonds has lowered him down Cookie's list of favorite sons, as Tua dodges a bullet. Just one of those plays you gotta have when your team is struggling. Awesome tackle by Trey Norwood, who I feel like I've noted at least once a week, and I think he's turning into a really nice player. Steelers D holding tough, but now it's back to the Canadian Army. Remember that U2 album, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb? Well, Matt Canada is an expert in how to dismantle an offensive drive, so let's peep this doozy of a series. Run up the gut for nothing, schemed up play that fools no one and creates 0 separation for the Muth man, add in another illegal man downfield, I swear to God Canada doesn't know this rule, then a tiny play that would have been meaningless to Diontae, who grabs an offensive pass interference, knocking it back even further, and a scramble for nothing that gets your recently concussed quarterback hit and just about fumbling for a gain of next to nothing on 3rd and a millennia. Get this safari hat wearing whack job's hands off my quarterback immediately. I am officially deeming the Matt Canada offense an unmitigated disaster at this point. What's hard is easy, and what's easy is hard. It's a nightmare that's done no favors for any of the 4 quarterbacks that have played in it. Roger Goodell holds his breath as Tua dives headfirst but comes up short, and Steelers get yet another shot. Nice run play actually works for the Naj man, and the Steelers are in motion as we head into the 4th. Unfortunately, we're again faced with the version of Michael Petaway Tomlin that is aggressive when he should be conservative and conservative when he should be aggressive. There's nowhere to go for Naj on third, why not throw? But instead of rolling the dice here, Tomlin punts it away to the offense that you just know is going to boil over eventually, right? Dolphins do grab a first to Tyreek, but come up short on the next two, and they are leaving the screen door wide open for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are sadly just allergic to scoring points on offense. Why is everything so hard? More razzle that dazzles absolutely no one puts Kenny in another gotta have it third, and he sails a flying nothing deep into parts unknown as the Steelers' tricycle gang of an offense scoots off the field. Good players do good things, and Tyreek and Mostert help the Dolphins get the ball near midfield, but Cookie's favorite son makes up for his drop pick with the great PBU running stride for stride with the cheetah, and somehow it's back to the Steelers offense with another chance to take the lead. Wait, so you're telling me you can just drop back and throw it? You know how I've been saying for 2 months that Pickett should have been taking every snap since August? Another example of him and Claypool not being on the same page happens on second, but Kenny converts to that same bank on third, and wait, is this really happening? Where's Pickens been all game? A pair here to number 14, and the Steelers are raising their biggest challenge in what feels like decades right now. Whoa! Just a little underthrown by KP, and this one gets deflected just enough to throw off the Muth man, and you could feel the impact of this play down in your plums. Just another one of those you gotta have when you're not very good. Still more good signs from young Kenny P, who's whirling around in the pocket and keeping his eyes downfield to find that man chase the bank to keep the drive alive. Back to the suddenly burgeoning Steelers run game with another chunk for Naj, who definitely had his best game of the season tonight. But on 2nd and 3, stuff for nothing would have been a great passing down to be sure. But a seemingly bogus penalty is called on the KP sneak, knocking it back to a 3rd and 6, which Kenny attempts to scramble for, but can't quite get there, and to make matters worse, a holding knocks it back again, this time to a 3rd and 16, and good things never happen there, and here it's a disaster for the young gun, who stands in with time and fires a very ugly duckling of a pass somewhere in the direction of Diontae Johnson, and it obviously gets picked to tip the scales of victory heavily back to the Miami Dolphins. Ain't no two ways of looking at this one, folks. Just a horrible pick for the rookie who needs to learn from these. This is a rookie looking like a rookie. I don't know if he lost his grip on this or not. Just to note, I have heard interesting things about his ability to play in the rain, but I think it's just a late and poor throw. Gotta just take a few yards here and try the field goal once this thing gets to 3rd and forever. Dolphins apparently have as little interest in winning this as the Steelers do, and Tua tosses another should-be pick on 3rd and 3. That makes 4 drop picks for the Steelers tonight, yikes. And yet again, Pickett gets a chance to win this freaking game. No better way to get a 2-minute drive started than with a pair underneath to the Muth man, but it starts to break down a bit when he scrambles for nothing, followed by hitting Claypool for just a few and eating half the clock in the process. But on 4th and 4, it's another flash in the pan for young Kenny P, who stands in and confidently fires a strike deep downfield to Pat, and holy shit, is he really going to do this? Shifty diontae stuff grabs another first. Hey, a great player in space, how often do we see that? But another poor decision by Pickett, who goes underneath to Muth again, who catches it, but gets the clock ticking lower and lower as the Steelers again run up to snap it, forcing a lot of very rapid decisions from their rookie quarterback, and that sets up our 5-star play of the game.
Pickett. Escape, thought about running, has to fire instead to the sideline. Igbenogany didn't come down with the 2nd foot.
With the clock ticking in the young quarterback's brain thinking, young Kenny P fires his absolute worst throw of the season, and it goes down not as his first game-winning touchdown pass, but as his 3rd and final interception of the night. This is what rookie quarterbacks do, and I can live with it. The Steelers had no business having so many opportunities to win this game. They just didn't. If the Dolphins had simply taken an easy field goal to extend the lead to 9, this game never even has you leaning forward. I think what we saw today was a lot more of the Dolphins being overrated than it was the Steelers being underrated. Whether the main culprit in your mind is the head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback, or whatever, it's hard to argue anything other than the fact that the on-field product that is the Pittsburgh Steelers is at its worst form in at least 20 years. What we've seen from Kenny Pickett here in a few games is enough that I'm forced to revisit my earliest qualm from this season, which was that there was no point in starting any quarterback besides Kenny Pickett and that he should have been taking every single snap from the moment he showed up. It's very obvious that his reps with the starting receivers were minimal before the last couple weeks, and it constantly looks like he is nowhere near on the same page with Claypool or Diontae. So in that sense, I am putting some of the blame on the play of the quarterback. But I also think you have to look at it as he's basically in week 3 while the rest of the league is rounding into game shape at week 7. So that to me falls back on the head coach, Mike Tomlin, who has continued to make profoundingly confusing decisions and statements at times this season. I'd be willing to bet, knowing what I know about Tomlin, that a loss like this probably stings worse than the one at Buffalo, just because they had so many opportunities to get it done and put it in the positives column for his young team, and namely his young quarterback. Instead, it goes down as a very frustrating 3-interception loss for the rookie, who must now be feeling the pressure of the position he's been thrust into. Oh, and at 2-5, what's next? Oh, just the league's only undefeated team coming off a bye. Yoy. Here we go. If you're still here, slide on over to patreon.com/5SMU and get yourself some exclusive 5-star goodies, as well as access to our Discord server. But most importantly, just make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you next week.